Hey everyone, in this video we will discuss about lists which are used in Python. So here is the definition, that is lists in Python. So if you are learning Python, then it is very important for a new programmer to know what is meant by list. So where we can use the list and how it is different from that of string. So if you see, list and string, they are similar but they have a slight change there. So what is that change, you will try to know in this video. So a list is a compound data type used to group together different values. So it is a compound data type, so you have to focus on this, that is compound data type. So compound means it has got two different types of characters, or it has got different types of elements in it, so that's why it is called as a compound. So means dissimilar elements will be present. So list items need not to have same type. So if you remember our next video where we have discussed about the strings, so a string is a collection of characters where all the characters are of similar type, that is either they can be numbers or they can be alphabets or something like that. So they can't be the mixture of numbers and alphabets there. So that is about a string. So string means a uniqueness will be there, but in case of lists, list elements can be numbers as well as characters. So one element can be a number and other element can be a alphabet there. So that's the greatness of list, I can say. So it can accommodate numbers as well as alphabets in it as a elements there. Okay, so that's about the definition of list. Okay, so in the list, items are separated by comma and they are enclosed in a square bracket. So this is how we can define the list. So there should be square brackets to enclose the list, and the list items should be separated with the help of comma. So when we open the Python shell, then we will be discussing about this one. So how I can write the list and what are the different types of manipulations which I can do with the help of this list. Okay, so the contents which we are going to discuss in today's sessions are, so how to create a list we will see first, then how to get the length of the list, then we will go for accessing the list element. So how I can access the different types of different elements in a list. So if it contains n number of elements, then how I can access a particular element in the list. Then we will see how to append an item to a list. So if I want to add something extra to the list, so how I can do that one with the help of Python, we will see. Then as well as the reverse operation of that one, that is removing an item from the list, we will see. Then inserting an item to a list. So if you want to insert an element at a particular position, so let us say after 10 characters I want this character to be displayed. So how I can do that with the help of a Python programming, I will see, will show you. Then combining of lists. So if you have got two lists, so then how you can combine these two lists to form a new list. So that is basically the combination of two lists. Then mixed data types in a list. So as I said, it can accommodate numbers as well as numeric, so alphabets. So how I can define that one, we'll see. Then changing the individual elements of a list. So the name itself says changing the elements of a list. Then nested list concept. So what is meant by nested list concept, we will be seeing at the end. So these are all the topics which we are going to discuss. So alright, so I will just open the Python here. Alright guys, so now I have opened the Python 3.8.3 shell. So now we will see one by one the different types of operations which are performed on the list. So first, as I mentioned in that banner there, so I will just show you how to create first list. So a list is nothing but the collection of items. So it can contain numbers as well as the alphabets, as I said. So first I will create a list. So let us say a list name is s1. So in square brackets I have to write, and each item I should be mentioning it in a single quotation. So let me just write a pen is the one item, then I will write next item as pencil. So pencil is the next item, then I will write a paper. So this is the third item. Alright, so I will define other element of the S1 list as let us say book. Okay, so I will write book, then yeah, so this is the string. Alright, so whether it is a list or not, let me just check. So sorry, I was saying that string, so it is a list. So I will just type here a type and then mention the name of the list. So it is a S1. Alright, so it will return it as list. So as you can see, S1 variable is a type of list, so the Python has taken it as a list. So as it is enclosed in a square bracket, so this is how we can define the list here. So you have to put two square brackets there, then each item of the list is separated by the comma, so you can see the commas here. Okay, so that is the first list. So this is how we can create a list, and these are the list elements: pen, pencil, paper, book. So these are the list elements. Okay, so now we will see how to get the length of the list here. So I have to just type length, so that's the keyword which is used, len. Then the list name is S1. So S1 I will write. So as you can see, length is 4. So pen, pencil, paper, book, so these are the 4 elements which are present in the list S1, so it is returning it as 4. Okay, so this is how we can define the length. Then we will go for accessing the list elements. So if I want to access let us say pen, then how I can access the pen here. So note guys, the index for this, so that is the base values for this one will be starting from 0, not from 1. So you should keep in mind for string also this applies the same. So the index value is starting from 0 in case of Python. So for pen it will be 0, for pencil it will be 1, for paper it will be 2, for book it will be 3. So it is starting from 0 and it will be in an increasing order. So if I want to access pen, then I need to mention like, so the string name is S1, and in square brackets I will write the element position. So what is the element position? 0 is the element position. Okay, so if I hit enter, then I will be getting it as pen, because at 0th element pen is present. So similarly, if I want pencil, I will write S1 of 1, so that at index 1 what is present? Pencil is present. So if I want book, then I will be writing S1 of let us say 3, then it will return me book. So this is how we can access different types of elements. Okay, so alright, so what if I want to access the more than one number of elements, like if I want to access pencil, paper and book, so at a time, so that I can do with the help of this one. So you have to follow the same steps, and you just mention the steps there, like this 1:3. So if I write like this, then it will give me pencil and paper. So the third element, so it will exclude the third element and it will include the, so it will exclude this 3 and it will include the 1. So if I want to access book also, then I have to write S1, then starting is 1 and ending should be 4. So then it will access all, that is starting from 1, so it will include 1, that is pencil it will include, and n minus 1 it will leave, so that is 4 minus so the last position, last bit 1 position it will be leaving. So that's why if I mention 4, then it will be 3 taking up to 3 elements, because it is starting from 0. So like this, if you want to access a block of block of items from the list, then you can access with the help of these expressions as well. So this is about accessing the elements from the list, and now we will move to the appending of an item to a list. So how I can append an item to a list, so we'll see. So let us say this string itself. So s1 is the string, and I want to append. So s1 dot append, I have to write append, then in bracket you have to mention what you want to append. So in bracket you have to put a single quotes there. Then I want to let us say I want to update something which contains, alright, so anything. So I will take let us say elephant. I will take uh, so I will write here elephant, and if I hit enter, then it has got updated. So if I print s1 here, then as you can see, elephant is added. So if you can compare these two strings, that is s1 and the updated one here, so you can see the difference. So pen, pencil, paper, book, along with that elephant has been added now. So that is mean by appending. So now we are appending an element at the end. Okay, so that is how we can append an element. And if I want to remove something from this string, let us say, so I want to remove elephant now, so I want my original list back, then how can I do? So you will just have to write s1 dot remove. So as it is a high level language, it is just similar to the English, so there is no need to do any special things here. So if you know well and good English, then it becomes very easy, so everyone knows that one. So I will just mention this one, that is oops, alright, so I will mention elephant here. Okay, so elephant I have mentioned now. So uh, now it has got removed. Then I will print s1. So either you can write like this, print s1, or else you can just write s1. So if you write s1 also, it will do the same thing, as you can see here. So the elephant has been removed now. So this is how we can remove a list element from the list. So elephant I have removed, and the others left will be pen, pencil, paper, and book. Okay, so moving on further, we have inserting an item to a list. So I will just write here, so inserting an item to the list. So this we are going to see now. So how I can do insertion? So let me just show you how we can insert. So I will just write, so like s1 is there, and then for this s1 I will be writing like s1 dot insert, and in square brackets I have to write. So okay, so in square brackets I will write, so at what position I want to insert. So after 1 or after pencil I want to insert this one. So I will write 1 comma, then in single quotes I have to mention what I want to insert. So yeah, same thing I will take elephant. So and when I hit enter, so alright, so it is showing an error. Okay, so I have missed a syntax here, so let me just write it once again. So I have to put round brackets here, so 1 comma, then I will write elephant again. So as you can see now, so elephant has been inserted. So 1 means at 1th position the elephant will be inserted. So as you can see here, pen, then this is the 0th position, and for 1th position now the elephant has been inserted because I have written 1. So at first position I want the elephant, so a pencil will be shifted to the second, similarly paper will be third, and a book will be fourth. So like this you can update the update a list. Okay, so now we will see how to combine two lists. So let me just erase this one. So alright, so now we will see how to combine two lists here. So as I have written here, so how to combine two lists. So I have taken first list, that is pen, pencil, paper, and book. So these are the list elements, and the variable which is assigned for this list is s1. So I will take second list, let us say s2, and then I will write the elements. Let me just write something which is relevant for us. So school I will write, so this is the first element. Okay, so then I will take other element, so put a comma, then single quotes, college, then I will insert an other element, let us say university. Alright, so these are the three elements for the second list. Okay, so then how I can form a third list, which will be the combination of these two lists. So okay, so how I can write like this, so let me just show you. So let us define a string s3, so which will be the addition of string 1 and string 2. So it should contain string 1 elements as well as the string 2 elements. So it is just the arithmetic addition, so it is as similar as arithmetic addition, but here the elements will not be added, so they will be displayed one after the other. Okay, so let me just show you. So I will print s3, so print s3. So when I write print s3, as you can see, first I got pencil, then pen, pen, then pencil, then paper, then book. So that is about string 1. So this is the string 1. Then after string 1, the second string is displayed here. So this is the second string, school, college and university is the second string. So like this you can add two strings together to form a new string. Okay, so this is about adding addition of string. Then I will go for, let us say, it is printing again and again. Okay, so I will define again a comment here. So how I can now we will see how to define the mixed data types, that is mixed data types in Python. So how I can define the mixed data types, we will see. So let us say there is a string s4, so which is equal to, which contains the elements, let us say first one is the let me say, take John as an example. So no, it's not John. Alright, say, so John is the first element, and then I will write a second element as 12, then I will write the third element as 12.12, then I will write the fourth element as 0.4, and I will write the fifth element as 2 plus let us say 3j. So that's a complex number. Alright, so now if I check the type of s4, so it will be obviously showing me the in a list itself, because it is a list. Okay, so it is showing me it is a list. So as you can see here, though it is a list, it contains the characters, that is alphabets here. So John is an alphabet, that is a string, and then it contains the floating point, integer and complex numbers as well. So that's why I've taken 12, 12.12 and 0 0.4 or 2 3j. So that's the complex number which I have written at the end. So if you want to access or if you want to know the type of the individual items in a list, then you can write type. Right, so type I will be writing like then what is the variable name, s4, and in square bracket I have to mention the item index value. So for John the index value is 0, so I will mention it as 0. So when I hit enter, it will be showing like string. So because it is a string, it is showing John is a string, that is the alphabet, so it is showing me string. So similarly if I go for this one, that is the first element, that is 12, so it should be showing me int. So let me just check, that is type, then string name is s4, and in square brackets I have to mention the index value, that is 1. So if I hit enter, it is showing me int. So alright, it's correct, 12 is an integer. So similarly if I check for 0.4, so let me just type 0.4 here. So I will be having a s4 as the list name or list variable, then I will just mention 0, 1, 2 and 3. So it is at third position, so it should be showing me floating point. So as you can see, it is showing me floating point, and at the end we will just check for the complex as well. So let me just write how I can write for the complex as well. So complex is at a position of 4, I guess. So yeah, it is at a position of 4, so it is showing me complex. So this is how we can define the mixed data types in case of Python. So as you can see, this is the comment, guys. So if you mention something after the hash, then it will be comment in the Python, so that you know. Alright, so how I can change the individual elements of a list. So let me just write a comment here. uh, Changing the individual elements of the list. Okay, so that we are going to see now. So let me just change the string s1 itself. So s1 of I will just change the first element. So s1 of 0 I have to write like this if I want to change the pen. So if I want to change pen, then I will be writing like s1 of 0 will be equal to, so this is equal to the s1 of 0, then it is added with, so I have to add some other item here. So in double quotes I will write like data. Alright, so if I mention data and if I hit enter, and now I will print the s1. So as you can see, after pen it is added data. So as here you can see, so pen data has been he is the new first item there. So that's why for pen I am adding, that is for pen. So this is basically pen, I am adding data to that pen. Okay, so if I leave some space here, then it will show space as well here. So that we can do. So this is how we can change individual elements. So if I want to change pencil, so pencil plus 1 if I want to do, then how I can do, s1 of I want to change 1th position, then I will do like this. So s1 of 1 plus 1 I want to do. So let me just put a space here. Then if I print s1, so as you can see here, pen data, then paper, so that is paper. All right, so the okay, so oops, we have made a mistake, guys. So I have written like this, so it should be a bracket here. So I will just rewrite that one. So I want to change the s1. So s1 of 1 is equal to s1 of 1, and it should be added with 1. So I have to write like this. So it is showing me can only concatenate string, not int. So it is just oh, okay, I have to mention it as a string. So in order to make it as a string, so I will just do one thing. So I will take like this s1, and then I will mention s1 of 1, then I will concatenate it help of 1. So what happened, I will just write like this. So as you can see, now it is displaying paper 1. So I have not displayed it in terms of the string, so I was directly writing it as 1, so it is taking it as an integer. And as the pencil is an string, and I'm trying to add with it with the with integer, so I'm trying to add the character with the integer, so that's why it is showing an error. So can only concatenate string, not int, so that's why it has thrown me a error. So now I have changed it to string. So if you mention something in a double quotation, then it becomes string. So like this you can change the individual elements of a list. So now we'll see how to make a nested list. So if you want to do nested list, then it's very simple. So let me just define a string 5, then it will be a nested list if I write like this. So open close brackets, then you have to mention two strings on which you want to make the nested loop. Okay, so I will mention s1 comma s2. So I want s1 and s2 to be nested list, so they will be combinedly forming the s5 list here. So if I hit enter and try to print the s5 list, that is like this, and at that moment I will be getting the first one is the pen data. So as you can see, s1 is here. So this is the s1 string, s1 list, sorry. Then it contains pen data, paper 1, then paper, and book. So this is the last one which is updated, so it will be taking this one. And then s2 is nothing but the same, that is here. So school, college and university. So school, college and university, as you can see, they are displayed in a separate square bracket. So this is one string, and this is the first string. So this is the first string, and this bracket, that is the first one, and the last one here indicates the total string, that is s5, which is the combination or the nested loop for the s1 string and the s2 string. So like this you can do different operations. So let me just quickly recap whatever we have done in this video. So we have seen how to create a list, then we have seen how to measure the length of a list, and we have also seen how to access the list elements. So that is whether I want to 0th element, first element, or starting from 1 up to end, or starting from end up to 0th element. So like this, in any order, if you want to access the elements of a list, then you can do with the help of some keywords which are there in the Python. Then appending an element to the beginning or end of an a list we have seen. Then removing an item from a list we have seen, so how to remove a particular item. Then inserting an item, so this is the reverse procedure for that of removing an item. Then we have seen combining lists. So if I have got two lists, then how I can combine these two lists to form a new list. Then we have seen mixed data types in a list. So we have seen how we can define the mixed data types in case of the list here. Then we have defined there the characters, then integers, floating point values, then complex numbers as well. So we have defined there. Then change individual elements of a list. So at the end we have seen how to change the individual elements of a list. Like if I want to change the 0th element with something else, so I can do that one. So we have seen that one. Then at the end we have seen how to form the nested list. So that is basically the nested list concept. So I hope you like this video, and if you found the content useful, please guys join our community by subscribing the channel. And if you found this one useful, and if you can share with your friends, then we'll be happy for you. And if any suggestion or feedback or comment, we'll be happy to receive and work on that one. So thank you, thanks for watching, see you in the next video. Thank you.